Alrighty, guys, it is your boy RPG Fans Only show here, and so we are back with some more gameplay and talk. Um, Alrighty, and so with that being said, let's hop into this today's game, which is going to be Boboubobo 9 Kyoku Senshi ga Yu-Gi-Oh! For the GBA. So this game is a Japan exclusive game, and the only one in its series, though. There are two more for the GBA. There's Majide Shinken Battle and Ugi 87.5 Bakuratse Hanage Shin. Both are their own games but both are their own games as well. But they borrow from each other heavily. All these games have something very in common. Um, they may all be their own games in their own right, but they all basically share many similarities. And if you've never seen the Bobo OVA series, you gotta check that shit out. That shit is hilarious. It's just comedy all the way through. There was the English version of this game. Not this game, but there's the English version of the OVA. You should probably check that out. But yeah, this game is pretty cool. It's doubles down as an RPG and an action platformer. All the games, actually, all three of the games have a card system and are RPGs in their own right. This game is a mixture of an RPG and an action platformer with the anime-like humor, just like the OVA. So it's pretty good, and I recommend you guys play this game just for various reasons. So the basics behind all these games is that there's these ball-headed bandit men who basically go around and terrorize people, and it's up to Bobobo to defeat them. Kind of like a typical Teenage Mutant Turtles or Power Rangers or Battle Sharks or Battle Toads type of game, or Pizza Cats. But this game is filled to the brim with humor, as the other three are. But they all have different layouts in the way that they look. This game mixes a lot of elements together. So do the other games, but the other games are more heavily on the RPG factor. This one does have some action platforming sections in the game, so it does make this game a little bit more interesting. You can do a couple things in this game, particularly that you can't do in the other games. So that's why I went ahead and did a gameplay and a talk for this one first. So yeah, we having this first cutscene here. It's gonna show off. Oops. This first cutscene is gonna show off the first battle of the game. I actually just smacked my mic into. Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna explain what just happened right now. But yeah, battles in this game play out on a Final Fantasy scale, and based on actions, Bobobo can use various skills like breathing fire and using the Bobobo rocket mobile for extra damage. There are also counters in this game, so be prepared for that. Though I don't know which button you'd have to press in order to counter. I think it's just right when you get attacked, you can pull off a counter. So generally a pretty easy game. This one is the easiest of the three. The other three are kind of complicated to understand. This one is pretty straightforward. It really isn't that hard to learn how to get this game down packed. So I decided to play this one first. We're gonna do a little gameplay and talk. I'm not gonna play the game all the way through, but I am gonna do like a little first run of the game. And so here's the battle system. Like I said, it plays out on a Final Fantasy scale. You do have to wait for your attack meter to charge, and the bar above you is kind of like a charge meter. When it gets filled up based off of attacks, um, you can use it to, like I said, use various skills, like punching your target or countering and a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, like I said, there are leveling up in this game. It is an RPG. And an obscure one for that. Not many people have talked about this game or even included this game in any type of gameplay or any type of gameplay. Though you will find something on YouTube and on Chrome, Google Chrome, but it's very hidden in the mist. And so yeah, there's various humor parts in this game that are just pretty fucking funny. So yeah, you might not know all the characters in the game, but they all have their own little backstories and stuff. Um, but yeah, throughout the game, there is equipable characters from the show's original cast that have their own unique like actions and backstory, and they're all characters you can get to specifically know. Um, and so that's what I like to do. So yeah, there are some jumping in this game. You can jump on this overworld. You can also use the Boubobo rocket mobile, which makes you go faster. Also helps you jump faster. Here's where you can go. This is an inn. You can spend the night with this weird condom sock. And yeah, that's disgusting. Let's get the fuck out of there. And yeah, so you can do a lot of things. Play the slot machines. Um, you're not gonna win anything, but you know. And so right now I'm just talking to everybody. We're gonna have to do our first tutorial stage, which is very. I'll probably complete it pretty quickly. But for those of you that don't know what to do, you might as well go ahead and listen to the tutorial. If you can't speak Japanese, that's totally fine. You don't need to uh, to be able to play that game. So I like to go in the shop and just buy one of everything because some things do come in handy. So you do have an item list. So that's the little card system I was talking to you guys about. Um, and so, like I said, there are various in this game. There are this many equipable characters, so there's a lot. Basically, the entire party. So when you're done with the city, you go on over here to the right. So here's a tutorial. I'm just gonna skip all of the bullshit. He's just gonna tell you how to play the game and how the action platforming parts of the game work. Um, so to interact with things in this game, you need to press A, but you can also press up on the doors, and so you can use it to open and close things. And the rocket can be used to break through walls and also to take out enemies. If you manage to hit them with the rocket while jumping, it'll knock them out. So oh, I didn't make the jump. That's that's unfortunate there. I usually make that jump pretty easily. Oops, that was a misclick. I didn't actually click the button. Hold on here. Oh man, that last platformer, because it moves, it makes it very hard to climb it. So yeah, the action platforming sections in the game. There really isn't much action when you do interact with enemies. You still go into the RPG, typical RPG format. And so yeah, and that is the end of this tutorial. And so once you complete this, you're gonna walk all the way back to the left here, um, and the guy will leave. So you can now enter what is the overworld part of the game. But in this overworld, you can fight enemies if you choose to. You can also dodge them, which I like to do. Um, so yeah, enemies do have their own little abilities as well. So like I said, you can also use Boboubobo's rocket ability. That was it right there. Using it twice, and it does a lot of damage. I was thinking of grinding in this game. I don't want to, but I might just for this first boss. Though I can beat him without the level grind. So throughout this game, there will be little shiny objects that you can use as card items. So there goes his other second ability, which is breathing fire. So there is countering in this game. I'm going to see if I can manage to pull that off next attack. You'll know when you countered because there'll be like a blue spark. That's kind of like a hit indication that you countered. But very soon we're going to be running up on our first boss here. So I think it's best that I do kind of grind a little bit. So there goes another one of his special attacks, which is the Mega Punch. So Boubobo is basically based off of his little mustache that has cool abilities. But he's an overall spunky little guy. There is story in this game, though. It's not, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's irrelevant. But it's there, and it's actually pretty good. It reminds me of Gensomaden. Um, or Legend of Dynamic. The artwork in this game is very detailed compared to the other two games. Though the other two games play more of a top-down RPG format, kind of like Final Fantasy. So this one of the three games is probably the best. So I think that's enough gameplay. I mean, enough talk. So let's get into more into the gameplay. I think I'm going to post commentary for the cutscenes, and then the rest of the game I'll just talk. And so if you don't know the Boboubobo show, Boboubobo does not like this little coin figure. He fucking hates this guy because he's silly and stupid. Nobody likes him. But was like, get the fuck out of here. So there goes a little humor, anime humor right there. I think this game was released in 1980 something by Hudson Soft. I don't know the relations behind the other two games, but I do know that they're all the same. Um, but I think other third-party developers did have a touch on this game. Alrighty, and so right here you will have two places you can go to. You cannot go to the right for now, so the only place you can enter is this building ahead of you. Um, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and show off a little feature here. If you're kind of strong, some of the enemies will decide to leave you alone. Also missed this item right here. You can also run into enemies and knock them off the stage, so you don't actually have to fight them with the Boubobo rocket. So it's a pretty useful ability if you want to just get past enemies. So they give you the option of not having to fight. Though you're gonna need to, because it is kind of useful. So I'm just gonna grind up a little bit. Because like I said, there is an inn. So I'm just gonna go ahead and not worry about the damage. I do have some items I can use to heal me if I do get super injured, but I doubt it. So enemies do get progressively harder with your level, so try to stay on top of the level scheme in this game, but you really don't need to grind whatsoever in this game. It's pretty straightforward, like Akazuki and Cha-Cha. And it is still pretty early, so I do sound a little bit drowsy. I apologize, fans, but this is a pretty good game, guys. Check this out for the GBA. RPG fans only shows recommendation. I really do not want to sleep with that little fucking thing. I think this is like a fucking tap on. No, thank you. I'll fight one more battle. Even though once we defeat the boss, we'll automatically gain a level. So I just want to be on top of the experience. And to show off the battle system as much as possible. Oh, that's Bobo's favorite shit to do. Oh, He got smacked on by a shit turd. So here comes that lady again. Very annoying, but you still don't understand what is her problem. Just gonna choose to fight these guys just because they're pretty simple to take out. And so there are various traps and objects in this game that will try to harm you. So make sure to watch out for that. So there goes the level. So you can never be too careful in this game. So here goes the first boss. One of the leaders of the gang, the ball head gang. So he's kind of gay. Now I don't mean to be like derogative or stereotypical, but he's kind of like really cheeky and etchy. He's like, don't touch me. Just look what he's doing. Like, come on now. But I guess it's humorous, so it's funny to some people. A lot of bosses in this game, a lot of enemies in this game will use their own little attack patterns, but they mainly do a lot of damage. Mainly because I have this extra level on me, this boss won't actually be able to hurt me as much. But they all do have their own little special skills. So make sure to keep that in mind because they can damage you very highly if you let them. So here he goes with the counter. Once you hear that budding, that noise that you just heard right now, um, that means I'm about to counter. Like for instance, right now, boom. First boss is pretty easy. And now we're on our way to gaining our second level, third level actually. Okay, so I guess I'll be quiet for the cutscene as we'll be moving on to our next part of the game. Sorry I had to play a Japan only game for gameplay and talk, but next time I'll make sure to play an English game. Sadly, Boboubobo was one of those shows that really didn't play for too long, didn't have many seasons, but it was very action packed and very funny. So these games really, really do. This is probably has to be one of the best anime tie-in series for the GBA because it's really closely related to the actual game. I mean, the actual show. And so we did gain our new party member. She's not that much stronger. She's actually pretty pathetic. Um, but she can be a human. Can be a human shield. So she is useful for my party. So this game tends to consistently throw you into battle. So be prepared for that. But it is pretty straightforward. Voice acting in this game is not bad either. But definitely when I play out the other two games, you'll understand the difference between them. So I don't know if I'll gameplay and talk them, play through them, but I know I'm gonna do it for this game, and we'll see for the other games. Just enjoy, fans. So there goes another party member that you'll get eventually later on. He's like, his power level is under 1,000. You need some milk. Oh, nope, that wasn't enough. I have no idea what the fuck is going on, but I know it's funny. Some of the games I do plan on playing are Ultima, Runes of Virtue 2, Golden Axe, Namco Super Wars, and Galardia for the mobile. So keep those games in mind as well. So here goes a mini game. I can never manage to beat this game. Yeah, I can't ever beat this game. This part right here is just too hard for me. But luckily, they give you the option of not having to beat it. So he's like, you bastard. Can you guys hurry up? I'd rather not deal with you guys right now. And so in a bit, we'll be introduced into another action platforming section of the game. So before I do that, let's go ahead and hop into another battle. This time with our new party member. Though he's no different, really. They both do the same amount of damage. Bubble obviously doing more because he is a level higher. So very cutscene heavy, very battle heavy, very action platformer heavy. It's a mixture of a pretty good game. Just put it that way. I'm really running out of things to say for this gameplay and talk, just because this game is better off on gameplay. Not much to talk about this game. You have to see everything for yourself. In other words, is what I'm trying to say. These are some of the most awkwardest cutscenes I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know what to make of it at all. But I know that once I'm done with this, I'm about to go get drunk as fuck. Oh, smack the fuck out his ass. Boom. Double tap. He's like, wow, you're gonna use me as a shield, Bobo, really? Get out of here. So he got his level. Okay, so before we go in there, okay, just want to make sure defeat some of these guys as well for a little bit of experience. Kind of like Kadash, you're gonna need to grind up every now and then just to make sure you're on top. These new enemies do pop up, and of course they generally take more hits than the ones did before. Let's go ahead and hop into a couple more battles. I'm gonna try to skip this part for the most part though. Uh, Take that. Finish him off. Knuckle sandwich. Uh, there his level up goes. So yeah, the Boubobo rocket mobile only works when you hit an enemy from behind. Or if the enemy is stronger than you. I think it's this one. No. Moving on up. Oh, I was hoping that would actually hurt him. So using others to block helps lower the actual damage that you would be normally be taking if you were just to take this direct hit. So it's a tactic I'll be using a lot. At least for this first part of the game. Time to use some special abilities. So yeah, as you can see, my characters are pretty fucking powerful. Time to show off another one of his abilities. Okay, well he doesn't own one, but that's all right. Oh, it is a chargeable ability. Forget. You have to get to max in order to use the ability. All right, he got his level. We're doing pretty good so far. Alrighty, here we go into the second boss of the game. After this, I will end this episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have, make sure to like, subscribe, give me some feedback. When we come back with part 2 of this game, we'll get a little bit deeper into it. Kind of like Albert Odyssey, I'll just do a little bit of the game. Show you kind of how to beat the rest. Man, what the fuck happens? One giant ass Boboubobo booger. So time to use his special ability. And that's how you get rid of that boss. Boboubobo. Alrighty guys, hope you guys enjoyed.